I can certainly agree that the universal brotherhood of man is our most precious possession, what there is of it. Scarcity increases value, I suppose. You know, I wanted to write a play, and I always wanted to write a play about Mark Twain. It struck me as very interesting that he had things to say, especially late in his life, about all kinds of subjects, including politics and the war making of his own country. These are things that we don't think of when we think of Twain. We think of the river and the Huckleberry Finn and all the halcyon days of yore. But Twain was a citizen of the world, and the inspiration really for the play, the gimmick was this report of his death in 1897 when he was in London, and a reporter went to ask him about it, and he said, well, you know, that report is exaggerated. And the idea of the play is, what if that report was only slightly exaggerated? What if he did in fact die and went up to heaven, and the question was whether he was going to be permitted to stay? Is that all we can do, General? To the person sitting in darkness, McKinley and his marauding missionaries must look like yet another civilizing power, with their banner of peace in one hand and their loot basket and butcher knife in the other. The question becomes, well, what have you done with your life? And that's what the play explores, is what did he do with his life, not only on the river, but after he left the river and went out west and came back east and lived most of his life actually in the Northeast, Hartford, Connecticut, and in New York, and traveled everywhere, almost everywhere in the world. The audience will get to see him with Winston Churchill, with a famous general of the Philippine War, with Helen Keller, with all of the not with all, but with some of the personalities that he knew and befriended in a long and very active life. I mean, he has so many great lines that everyone is familiar with, and I confess I was thinking when I started, you know, if I get in trouble with this thing, I've got a very good co-author I'm working with, and so I'll just steal some Twain and put it in.